Hello everyone, here psst.one. Welcome back from the Christmas break that it was a bit long. Sorry about it. Today I introduce you VDMO, a visual artist from Australia that they perform almost everywhere in the world. But in this interview, we will focus on his ongoing project, VJ Union, the biggest group on Facebook about VJ. So, enjoy! And first question for everyone every time is, how did you start with visuals?
So I've come from a promoter's point of view. I ran my own events in Australia, and I always felt that the visual element would be really important to enhance the experience for people that come and enjoy the shows. So at that time I was working and learning multimedia, so the two worlds collided in that sense, and I started to research the visuals point of view, the production, technologies around surrounding the development of it. So I would learn like video editing, After Effects, node systems, and eventually step by step grown day by day to come to real-time performance. So that was my initial step.
And what fascinates you about it? Why you wanted a visual part in your events?
Visuals, they bring a very important element to heighten the senses. So you've got your vision, your ears, and when you combine them together, that makes a new experience. And because there was no such thing practiced at that time, I felt that was a completely empty space that needs to be filled. So I was really interested in doing that. These were my initial motivations. And once I discovered it and started to roll with it, it became just a never-ending journey. I practice it to the day now, so that's how I look at it now.
So let's start directly with the VJ Union. You are the mind behind the VJ Union. Why did you choose to create stuff like that? When did you found it and why?
Well, VJ Union is my ongoing project. So I guess to explain it best, it would be to say that I got to a project through a number of steps. I've always been involved in social media development and community development online. In Australia, I ran community and events called Milk Community, which later put me to becoming a VJ. As I started to travel around Australia, I realized that there's a lot of people that I would meet would not even know of one another. And so slowly, step by step, I would start to meet them and realizing that some souls could really integrate with one another by collaborating and combining skills. In my process, I've realized that if we combine the talents and skills and share skills among the artists practicing this art, we can elevate the art altogether, because through sharing ideas and exchanges, it would allow people to raise the art to a new level. There were communities online at the time when I started. However, there was not much of a representation of it in Australia. So the initial project came from Australia, where I saw a need to address certain aspects that would come to our environment and in our scene. For example, whenever we dealt with big festivals and festivals would treat us in a certain way, we would say, well, this is not the best way to be treated, so we need to collaborate as a community and respond to issues that come to us as a community. So the first project would be VJ in Australia, and that was the first initial phase to how it all came about. As you guys know, it's an online project. Everything happens in an online medium, so we operate in online forum space where we contribute ideas, we interact on subjects that relate to our work. And before you know it, we had a lot of people starting to request to come from other parts of the world. So within a month of VJ Union being born, we had lots of people trying to join us from worldwide community. So we'd have people from Europe coming on board. We had people from the US, from Asia, from Russia, all over the world. And I would always think about it, well, if we have a system like this in Australia, well, eventually they can spring itself up all over the other places. So the first request that I would make to people that join us from outside of Australia, it'd say, well, you have a couple of choices. You can become either ambassador to VJ in Australia in our country, from your country rather, or you are, for example, a software developer, or you've performed here before. So it allows us to expand our work based on where you're from. And then before you know it, we launched VJ in Europe. Then we had a VJ in USA. Canada was also sprang up around the same time. I've had a really good relationship with Swedish VJ Union. And it just started to go from there. Day by day, we started to expand, grow, and add more members as it happens to the point now. So as I say this, we would have another 30 to 50 members joining us right now as we explore it to the day now. So that's how it is.
Did you try with this huge community to create a kind of events for them?
So we did have a lot of events in various parts of the world where local communities of VJs come together and share and exchange ideas. To the day now, we probably ran in numbers of 50 or 60 events that are localized events worldwide. First ones were launched in Australia. We ran few of them over the early years, and as things went on, they weren't as particularly regular events, but they'd still connect a lot of people on a face-to-face basis, allow people to get to know each other. It's not a festival as such. I believe the festival exists online. It's every single day. So we're looking at it from this point of view. The communication always carries on 24/7. So the opportunities for people to contribute and take whatever they need for themselves to grow is always available. So if you have a question, you can come to VJ Union and post your ideas or post your queries or questions or problems, and community can help you to solve them and find really good solutions. So I think from that point of view, this is the focus that I'd like to see our community go.
Like every visual, unfortunately, we have this nightmare to use tons of software.
I have no fear of that.
No, me too. But you know, it's the only
fear.
work that I feel that we need to know a lot of software all the time.
We do, and my work is actually learning about the software as well, because for a community such as VJ Union Software, one of my particular focus projects, I interact with entire spectrum of developers worldwide that I know well and treasure as friends. We have an ongoing communication. So I always try to figure out how to make things better. Every single week I revisit the ideas and I push myself and make myself uncomfortable. You know, I can get really good at something in particular in the spectrum of, like, let's say, you know, tools that we all know and love, like mixers, like Resolume, for example, and then you realize that there are all the other pipelines that are there. How do we integrate our connectivity from software to software? Like earlier on, I was with my dear friends in Australia, like Robert and Lynn Jarvis, who put Spout project together. So we linked that, and I was helping promote it. So I was there from the day one, pushing those tools for the community. And now look at the Windows world; it's exploded completely. So currently, my toolkit would probably encompass, I'd say 3, 4, 5 tools that I bounce between. The main ones would include Magic Music Visuals, which is a really lovely system for node-based audio reactivity. So you can patch systems really quickly and build something audio reactive within seconds. I focus on shaders in that field. Next one is Mode. Dear friends of mine in France, creating this amazing toolkit for people to create absolutely mind-blowing compositions in real time. Very good software. I'm digging into Symmetry, which is sandbox of virtual reality and 3D audio reactive worlds. Absolutely amazing software. For the next few days, they're still running like a daily training on for the YouTube channel, which is fantastic. Live classes in front of everyone, where you can interact with the developer and ask him questions. So powerful and so beautiful. Additionally, on mapping side, I vary from software to software, either Mapio Pro or Heavy M, and occasionally touch up on CodeLive. So CodeLive allows you to write DSLL shaders in real time and share it via Spout to any of the programs that I'm using. So combined together, they have an ability to talk to each other and give me quite an astronomical amount of possibilities. So I try to jump between them and see what I can use from application to application or show to show. Depending on the style I'm working with, I change my approaches and techniques.
The situation now, the visual community in Australia, from your point of view, that you build up this community, how you can describe the visual community now in Australia that is so far from Europe?
Bunch of talented people doing amazing things. It's a really interesting question, because it's when you're looking at even a group of people of 1,000, how do you express that? There's a lot of creative souls out there that curious and passionate and creative. Having a hub for people like that can collaborate and express themselves together, it's very valuable to them, and myself as well, because every questions that I have, I realize that everyone else will also have also. So on the subject of where I'll jump forward slightly and I'll try to express my point of view to where I think things can go from now on. Working with this community on a daily basis, I see similar questions come over and over and over and over. So in the last few years, I've started to formulate the next step in evolution of VJ Union. So my next point would be to say that we need to educate people. So we will formulating our next steps towards an educational institution where we can teach people how to do visuals, how to work with software, how to solve problems that we have. And there's a good name for it. Have a guess what it is? It's called VJUni.on. So it's already in front of you, but we just need to work towards it. And so that's my next step. And on top of it, working out promotions for every artist to publish their work online and log their work and promote every single VJ gig in the world as well. So this is another project that I'm working on as well. So this is the next step.